Tulsa King Season 3, Episode 2 Review. A formidable new villain ignites Stallone's return to the action genre. Robert Patrick looking serious in Tulsa Kings Season 3. Tulsa Kings Season 3, Episode 2. The 50 raises the stakes and tension to an all-time series high, so much so that it nearly feels like a completely different series in the best possible way. The first 2 seasons of Tulsa King were serious but also offered some levity, making it sort of a dramedy series that Sheridan has essentially branded himself with shows like Landman and Yellowstone. The second episode of Season 3, however, pushes Stallone back into his old-school ass-kicking action days. After retaining several new Season 2 characters like Neil McDonough's Thresher and Frank Grillo's Bevilaqua, Tulsa King has scaled itself along with Dwight Manfredi's takeover of Tulsa, Oklahoma. These changes make sense and are ultimately good for the series' future, which is already guaranteed 4 seasons. Already profitable from Bodhi's weed business and Mitch's car dealership, Dwight can't help but stick his hand into an opportunity to make a fortune off of booze, which sets off the formidable might of the new series antagonist, Jeremiah Dunmire, played by Robert Patrick, setting up his most diabolical foe yet. Sylvester Stallone's Dwight standing with a cigar in his hand in Tulsa King Season 3. It turns out that Bodhi, Breaking Bad, in the Tulsa Kings Season 3 premiere was a sign of what was to come with the entire series. While there was plenty of action in the first 2 seasons of Tulsa King, Season 3 is much darker, intense, and ruthless than both of them put together. Previously, Dwight had room for his romantic and family affairs, which took up a good chunk of the main storyline. This time around, Tulsa King is setting up a truly no-frills display of bravado and violence that, after 2 episodes, already ups the ante and tunes the series to an unprecedented note. While it was strongly implied that Dunmire burned down Theo Montague's house with him in it in the previous episode, that reality comes to fruition in Episode 2. Chicky may have been unpredictable and dangerous, but Dunmire is a certified psychopath who may actually give Dwight a reason or two to be concerned about his new distillery enterprise. Somewhat fortunately, some of Season 2's antagonists, Thresher and Bevilaqua, are more like allies in Season 3 thus far, as long as they stand to gain from their business with Dwight. New York also lingers in the background in the early episodes of Season 3, so Quiet Ray should come into play at some point, either to back Dwight up or place additional pressure that could end his luck in Tulsa. These developments have quickly pushed Tulsa Kings Season 3 into action thriller territory, with bigger and badder antagonists that truly represent evil and greed. Dunmire is basically a supervillain, which may not jibe with the show's combination of suspense and comedy. Tulsa Kings Season 3 is still off to a strong start after 2 episodes. You may have to suspend your belief for some of the story elements, like law enforcement not starting a bigger investigation into the Montague house fire that was summed up as an accident, but this is not meant to be one of those cop-focused crime shows. Garrett Hedlund is given a bigger role than just a supporting character in Tulsa King Season 3, Episode 2. In fact, he's almost on the level of being a co-protagonist with Dwight, as evidenced by his new love interest, Cleo, and his bare-knuckles fight scene, placing him in the spotlight more than ever. The supporting gang of misfits in Tulsa Kings Season 3 still offers some of the lighter notes in the series, even if they come by less frequently. Dwight's sister, Joanne, is also getting more involved in the business, which makes for a better contribution than her weed store's baked goods in Season 2. That said, Dwight's daughter, Tina, may only be relevant as a vulnerability as the stakes continue to surge. This has always been a gangster show, but it's entering a much darker territory designed to drive adrenaline and tension that make it hard to continue calling it a feel-good dad show. Prime Video's Reacher follows a similar strategy with its 3rd season, going darker and placing the protagonist in a heightened role, but it never loses a sense of the type of show it is. Dunmire is a more developed version of Season 2's Ming, who just liked to kill people. He is rooted in legacy, ideology, and a warped sense of honor that makes him believe he's entitled to things that he's not. Dwight is in a position to fight back, but something tells me that he may not fully grasp the threat that Dunmire poses at this juncture. Both Dwight and Dunmire threaten each other by destroying each other's lives and killing loved ones, so consider the gloves officially off from this point on. Dwight has made himself bulletproof with his charisma and good fortune for 2 seasons of Tulsa King. However, Dwight's confidence is prone to take a major blow if he keeps blowing on Dunmire's flames. Dwight won't back down from any fight, which could be his Achilles heel. Dunmire talks about honor, but he is incredibly off-kilter and shows no respect for those whose interests don't align with his, which typically requires submission. Dunmire's liable to shoot first and hit harder than Dwight's ever been hit in Tulsa King. Like Dwight says when he looks at Theo's burned-down house. "Man, I've made some threats in my life, but it was just idle bullshit. This is sick." Please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe for more videos. Thanks for watching.